It looks like I was cut off in the middle of a sentence there. I'm talking about the comparable pay and the comparison of pay between public and private sector people. At the top level, public employees are paid significantly less, and they have an extraordinarily precarious existence, depending on their relationship with the city council or with the board of supervisors. Generally, a chief executive in the public sector has to wake up every morning and be able to count to 3. He needs 3 votes. He or she needs 3 votes every day to make sure that they stay at work. The other thing that makes a comparison extraordinarily difficult is that many of the blue-collar, unskilled jobs have now been contracted out or shed by the public service. So what you're left with are jobs that require a high degree of education, a fairly significant level of skills. Those jobs tend to be higher paid. The third factor that's involved here is that public employees generally tend to stay in their jobs. And so you don't have a high level of turnover, and you have an enormous salary cost that's all the way through the system. So direct comparisons are not necessarily the best way to go on this particular thing. And so I'm not so sure. I'm not going to ask you questions, for example, about the methodology that they spend a lot of time comparing public and private employees. The real issue is, to a certain extent, is does the union have an effect on the wage and benefit levels of public employees? And yes, it does. There's no question about that depending on what sort of service and what level of government you're talking about, you can have between a 6 and a 10% impact on the cost of employees. Now, in many cases, you'll find politicians saying, well, this is a complete loss. We shouldn't have that sort of effect. On the other side, unions do things that management really like. For example, you have a fairly disciplined workforce. You have people that understand rules and regulations. You have people that tend not to turn over because the jobs are protected by the union. So you have a learning curve issue that is helped by job stability, and unionized jobs tend to be somewhat significantly more stable. So yes, there's a cost associated, an actual financial cost associated with public employee unionism. Is that good for local community? Generally speaking, yes. You're going to find that better paid jobs lead to what they call circulation of money. It's people spend money, they spend more money in the local community. It creates more employment. That's why you don't want Walmart jobs, because people don't have any money to spend. You want well-paying jobs where people buy things and where those store owners recirculate the money in the economy and create more and more employment. So well-paying jobs are actually good for a community. They may not be good for a particular employer, of course, but that's another matter that frankly I'm not concerned with. I do think, however, that the cost of your union membership, if you're ever worried about this, the cost of your union membership is usually significantly less than the actual wage benefits that you get as a result of being a member of a bargaining unit. And in terms of the benefits, it's significantly better. Okay, guys.